It came from the darkness between the stars. Silent, calculated, impossible to ignore. This was no random rock drifting through space. Just before vanishing into the cosmic abyss, 3I/ATLAS sent us one last signal, and what it revealed could change everything we know about the universe and our place inside it. When astronomers first noticed 3I/ATLAS in 2024, they thought it was just another comet. After all, two objects like this had already passed through our solar system: the interstellar comet Borisov, and before that, the infamous Oumuamua. But this was different. Atlas didn't look like a comet. It didn't behave like an asteroid. From the very beginning, its path was too controlled, too deliberate, and its geometry was almost unsettling in its symmetry. Oumuamua had already sparked furious debate. Some argued it was nothing more than a fragment of rock. Others, most notably Harvard's Avi Loeb, suggested it might be artificial, a probe from another civilization. With 3I/ATLAS, however, the line between natural object and engineered craft became much thinner. This was not a chaotic wanderer tumbling endlessly through space. This was something that seemed intentional. It drifted through the void not like a chance visitor, but like a messenger. And the more scientists looked at it, the more it gave the impression of being designed. The question wasn't just what it was, but what, if anything, it was trying to tell us. From the very first calculations, 3I/ATLAS began to unsettle astronomers. Unlike comets or asteroids we've tracked before, its motion across the solar system wasn't chaotic. It wasn't influenced randomly by the pull of planets, nor did it display the unpredictable wobble of natural bodies. Instead, its trajectory cut through the darkness with eerie precision. Comets, when heated by the sun, often release jets of gas and dust that push them off course. But Atlas refused to behave this way. There was no chaotic outgassing, no random drift. Its course was stable, almost piloted. Researchers noticed how it slingshotted near gravitational wells with uncanny efficiency, as if it were playing a perfect game of cosmic chess. Every move looked calculated, as though each planet was just another piece on a board. And ATLAS already knew the winning strategy. This wasn't just speculation. Data showed that its approach vector was smoother than any tumbling fragment of ice we've ever recorded. It was neither erratic nor clumsy. It moved as though it recognized hazards before it even reached them. The question quickly emerged. Was this a natural accident of physics, or something else? And just when scientists thought they had an answer, what happened next challenged the very foundations of their understanding of space objects. To unravel the mystery of 3I/ATLAS, astronomers turned to our most advanced eyes in space, the James Webb Space Telescope. What it found made the story even stranger. Instead of a random, natural thermal signature, like the uneven heating we'd expect from ice or rock, Atlas displayed a repeated rhythmic pattern. Temperatures rose and fell with a consistency almost like a heartbeat, pulsing through the void at steady intervals. No asteroid or comet has ever exhibited thermal behavior like this. To researchers, it looked engineered, or, at the very least, controlled. Then came the surface reflections. When Webb's spectrographs analyzed the light bouncing off ATLAS, the results were baffling. Much of its exterior appeared hyperreflective, more like polished alloys or advanced composites than dusty cosmic debris. It gleamed like something metallic and built. And then came the most unsettling detail, a repetitive signal. Every 147 seconds, Webb detected a faint pulse. At first, scientists thought it was interference, maybe a background object, until they realized the periodicity was coming directly from ATLAS itself. This was not random noise. It was deliberate. The last time astronomers had seen anything even remotely similar was in Oumuamua, when faint radio anomalies were reported briefly before it left our solar system. Now, the pattern was undeniable, repeating like clockwork. The question was clear: who or what was sending it? But the most alarming moment came when Webb locked its focus for a deeper scan. Just as the telescope increased its resolution, the pulse from ATLAS shifted in strength, almost as if it was aware it was being observed. With every new observation, an unsettling idea began to form among researchers. What if 3I/ATLAS wasn't just a random fragment wandering through space, but something far more deliberate? Like the enigmatic Oumuamua, which sparked endless debate about its nature, Atlas seemed to be far from ordinary. But while Oumuamua appeared passive, just a solitary visitor observing from afar, Atlas exhibited signs of interaction. The difference between them might be the difference between a silent spy and an active explorer. Imagine the difference between a radar ping and an unmanned drone. Oumuamua was like a radar signal bouncing off an unknown object, passive and fleeting. A TLAS, on the other hand, seemed to be the drone itself, actively moving, responding, and perhaps even listening. The unmistakable shifts in its pulse strength whenever Earth-based telescopes scanned it couldn't be brushed off as coincidence. Scientists observed something extraordinary. As soon as James Webb fixed its lenses on ATLAS, the object's emission pulse grew more intense, sharper, and seemed to change pattern briefly, almost as if it was aware of being watched. This kind of response, if confirmed, suggests a level of awareness or at least advanced design for interaction. The moment 3I/Atlas shifted its path, astronomers knew they were witnessing something out of the ordinary. But what followed went far beyond orbital mechanics. It seemed to ripple across both Earth and the Moon. When astronomers tracked its signal, they discovered that the pulses were no longer distributed evenly into space. Instead, many of them were directed toward the Earth-Moon system, as though targeting it deliberately. And then came the most startling discovery. A concentrated burst of energy was aimed at a specific region of the Moon. A mascon, or mass concentration, hidden beneath the lunar surface. These mascons have long been a lunar riddle. They distort the Moon's gravity, affect spacecraft orbits, and to this day scientists debate their true origins. Now, for the first time, one of these anomalies had become the focal point of an interstellar object. But while the Moon carried the brunt of the signal, Earth was not left untouched. Sensitive magnetometers in multiple observatories, stretching from Japan to Chile, detected faint but repeated disturbances in the planet's magnetic shield. Each disturbance matched the timing of ATLAS's 147-second pulse. It was subtle, yes, but unmistakably synchronized. To many, it felt less like random interference and more like a handshake. Then animals began to act strangely. Ornithologists in the Arctic reported that migrating birds left their nesting sites days ahead of normal seasonal patterns. Marine biologists in the Pacific found whales shifting course far outside their usual paths. Creatures that navigate by geomagnetism seem to be responding to a new rhythm in Earth's magnetic field. A rhythm that coincided precisely with the signal pattern from ATLAS. And if that weren't unsettling enough, seismographs in countries as distant as Iceland, South Africa, and New Zealand picked up vibrations. Tiny, almost imperceptible tremors that had no clear tectonic source. Once again, the time codes aligned with ATLAS's pulses. Taken separately, these might be dismissed as coincidence, but together, they suggested something more profound. That the object's resonance wasn't confined to the vacuum of space, but was echoing through the Earth itself. So, the mystery deepened. If Atlas had truly sent its signal to a hidden anomaly beneath the Moon, while Earth itself trembled in reply, then two haunting questions remained. What is waiting beneath that lunar surface? And was the Earth ever merely a bystander, or the intended target from the very start? By the time 3I/Atlas faded back into the vastness of interstellar space, it had already left behind more questions than answers. Was it nothing more than a comet with properties we have yet to understand? Or had we just witnessed the closest thing to an engineered visitor that humanity has ever encountered? The scientific community remains divided. On one side are those who argue Atlas's trajectory, and signals might still be explained by exotic but natural processes, unusual outgassing, unknown surface chemistry, or interactions we simply don't yet understand. On the other side stand those who believe the evidence points elsewhere, that ATLAS was not just a rock on a random path, but a machine, a messenger, something designed to study us, or perhaps something far beyond even that. If this was its last message, then who, or what, was it intended for? Humanity? Or could it have been directed towards something else, hidden in the very skies we think we know so well? One thing is clear. Atlas has reminded us of a humbling truth, that the universe is not silent, and what drifts toward us from the stars may carry intentions we are only beginning to imagine. If Atlas's final signal was only the beginning, then what comes next could rewrite everything we know about the universe. Trust me, you're going to want to see what follows.